Ah, skiing, the crisp mountain air, the crunch of fresh powder underfoot, the thrill of gliding down a slope, leaving all worries behind. I've always loved a good ski trip, a chance to escape the everyday and embrace the beauty of winter. Recently, I found myself longing for those snowy adventures. It brought back a flood of memories, particularly one unforgettable trip to Slovakia. It happened a few winters ago. My friend Attila and I decided to explore the slopes of Donavali in Slovakia. We'd heard tales of its stunning scenery and challenging runs. It seemed like the perfect winter escape. Little did we know our trip would turn into an adventure we'd never forget. One that involved more than just skiing. It involved running out of petrol in the middle of nowhere, in the snow. Donavali was everything we'd hoped for, and more. The moment we arrived, we were greeted by a picturesque winter wonderland. The air was crisp and clean, carrying the scent of pine. Snow blanketed everything, transforming the landscape into a scene from a Christmas card. We spent our days carving through the fresh powder. The slopes were a mix of challenging blacks and gentler blues, perfect for skiers of all levels. We laughed as we tumbled down the mountain, our shouts echoing through the silent woods. The days were filled with exhilarating runs, followed by evenings by the fire, warming our cold fingers and toes. One afternoon, after a particularly exhilarating day on the slopes, disaster struck. We were driving back to our cozy cabin, the setting sun painting the sky in hues of pink and orange. Suddenly, the engine sputtered, coughed, and died. We coasted to a stop on the side of the deserted mountain road. Silence. Attila and I exchanged nervous glances. Did we run out of petrol, I asked, already dreading the answer. Attila checked the gauge. Yep, he said, his voice flat, bone dry. We both knew this was not good. We were miles from the nearest town. The sun was setting fast and the temperature was plummeting. Stranded in the snow, a comedy of errors. We huddled in the car, the cold seeping through our ski gear. Our breath formed clouds in the frigid air. Okay, I said, trying to sound more confident than I felt. We need a plan. We considered our options. We had no cell service, and walking for help in the dark and the cold seemed unwise. Just then, a pair of headlights appeared in the distance. "Salvation!" I exclaimed, feeling a surge of relief. The car pulled up behind us and a man emerged. He was bundled in a thick coat, his face half hidden by a scarf. "Having car trouble?" he asked in accented English. "We ran out of petrol," I said sheepishly. He chuckled. "Happens to the best of us." He introduced himself as Pavel and offered to help. As he busied himself with a jerry can, I noticed something familiar about him. "A reunion in the cold when help arrives." "Pavel?" I asked, squinting at him through the falling snow. He paused, looking up. "Do I know you?" I rattled off the name of our mutual friend, a Slovakian colleague from years ago. His eyes widened in recognition. "You're Andras, right?" he exclaimed, a broad smile spreading across his face. It turned out Pavel was our friend's cousin. We were flabbergasted. What were the chances of running into someone we knew in the middle of nowhere in Slovakia? Pavel filled our tank, refusing any payment except for a promise to visit him and his family for dinner once we were back in town. As we drove away, the warmth in the car came not just from the heater, but also from the unexpected encounter. We laughed about our good fortune, marveling at the coincidences that life throws our way. Our ski trip to Slovakia was filled with breathtaking scenery, exhilarating runs, and a healthy dose of adventure. But more than anything, it was a reminder that even in the most unexpected circumstances, kindness and human connection can appear like a beacon in the night. And sometimes running out of petrol can lead to the most heartwarming encounters.